My teacher refused to lock down. During a real school shooting, even blocked the light switch while gunshots got closer. When I begged her to let us hide, she said, "Sit down or you're expelled." I just stared at her. That was 1 year ago. Last week, she was let out of her apartment in handcuffs. Miss Brown had taught for 25 years and ruled AP history like a dictator. When the PA crackled, "This is not a drill," we moved to the safe corner on instinct. We'd practiced since kindergarten. She stepped in front of us with that look she wears when her power gets questioned. "Back to your desks." I didn't approve any lockdown today. I raised my hand out of habit. "Miss Brown, we're supposed to. The only procedures you follow are mine. Sit down or you all get zeros." She launched into her speech about respect and how her generation didn't need hand-holding. Most of us sat. Nobody wanted to risk a tanked GPA over what had to be a drill. Then the PA repeated, "Code red. This is a code red. All staff and students follow lockdown procedures immediately. Drills don't repeat." My phone buzzed under my desk. Tyler, my boyfriend 2 halls over, hiding in supply closet. "Someone has a gun. Where are you?" More texts poured in. "Main office. Under Garcia's desk. We killed the lights. Door wedged." I showed her my screen. "There's someone with a gun. I see what this is," she said. "A prank to get me fired." That's when we heard the shots. Not pops. Bang, bang, bang. The hallway swallowed the sound and threw it back at us. Someone gasped. Someone prayed. The clock hands clicked like they were counting down. I stood. "We need to hide now. Sit or you're expelled," she said, blocking the light switch. "I won't lose my job because you children want to play games." Something snapped. "I don't care." I sprinted for the switch and killed the lights. Half the class bolted to the safe corner. She kept yelling about disrespect and hysteria. We dragged desks to the door, slid backpacks against the gap, looped a projector cord through the handle. Phones went to silent, shoes off, breathing small. The knob rattled. Everyone froze. A shadow paused under the door, then moved on. We stayed like that until the SWAT team found us. 40 minutes later, shields, rifles, calm voices. Miss Brown was still talking about overreaction and how social media had made us paranoid. A week later, the shooter's name came out. Jake Wilson, a former student she'd failed on a technicality that tanked his college admission. He'd filed a complaint against her for psychological abuse 3 years ago. Administration buried it. Detective Santos showed up with a court order for her personnel file. They found 6 other complaints, sealed and resolved without action. He took my statement about her exact words and actions, blocking the switch, threatening expulsion while gunshots echoed, calling our fear manufactured. At my kitchen table, I wrote everything in present tense so I wouldn't soften it later. Security footage surfaced. Miss Brown walking calmly down the hall 30 seconds after the first shots, no run, no duck, while other teachers had already barricaded and covered windows. Enhanced audio from that camera picked up her voice at 9:47 a.m., right after the first shots. "If this is real, they deserve what they get for not respecting me." Then Jake's manifesto leaked. 3 pages diagrammed her tactics: public humiliation, intentionally confusing instructions followed by punishment, gaslighting over things she'd said. The FBI verified the pattern through former students and staff emails. Names were redacted, the behaviors weren't. The trial lasted 3 weeks. I testified for 4 hours, step by step through those 47 minutes, how the shot sounded, how the knob jerked, how she chose her image over our safety. When her lawyer asked why I defied a direct order, I looked at the jury. I chose to live. She chose her ego. A juror wiped her eyes. Another stared at his notes like they were burning. On day 5, against counsel's advice, Miss Brown testified. The prosecutor asked one question. "When the shooter was in the hallway outside your classroom, did you recognize his voice?" She froze. 15 seconds. Then, yes. The courtroom erupted. She had recognized Jake, the same student with buried complaints, yet she left us exposed to prove a point. The jury found her guilty on 23 counts of reckless endangerment. At sentencing, I read my statement while looking straight at her. Being in charge without caring about people isn't leadership. It's cruelty. The judge gave her 18 years. As the cuffs closed, she muttered that she was just maintaining standards. She never understood that her ego almost got us all killed.